I am an African. I am he who made it possible to trade in the world markets in diamonds and gold in the same food for which our stomachs yearn. I come of those who were transported from India and China, who taught me that we could both be at home and be foreign, being part of all of these people. And in the knowledge that none dares contest that assertion, I shall claim that I'm an African.
Greetings to my fellow African descendants and the enthusiasts of the continent. My name is Gacha and I'm your host for Scatterlings of Africa, where we follow a journey of ordinary South Africans doing extraordinary things outside the borders of Africa. In this episode, we follow ANDILE NDLOVU. He is doing amazing things with the Washington School of Ballet. But before we get into that, I just want to give you a little bit of where this gentleman comes from. He comes from an area in South Africa called KwaZulu-Natal, which is famous for a lot of things, amongst which King Shaka is a resident, or was a resident of this place rather. Check this out. And today I have the pleasure of speaking to ANDILE NDLOVU, ugatsheni wayebenyathi obusonga busombulukile. Abathi ukuthula ukuvuma, bathi ukuvuma ukulandula. Ndlovu ezidle ekhaya ngokoselo belusi. Mbongo zangelwayo. How are you doing, ANDILE?
I'm great, thank you. Thank you for having me.
Your body of work covers so much. I mean, you've been in the industry for so long. How long has it been? Over 15 years, and you've done everything. How did it all start? I mean, you from soccer, from what I've heard, you started out as a soccer player, and then it was ballroom, and then it was ballet. How did that all come into being, where you decided that ballet was the thing for you?
I like to say mostly it's just searching for identity, you know, as a young child searching for what is really your true calling, but making sure that you try each and everything first before you make a choice, because sometimes you make choices and you realize when you're 30, oh, this is not something that I wanted to do. So I wanted to do something I love. And so in the beginning I thought I loved all of those things, and yes, I still do love them. I'm still well capable of doing all those different kinds of things, whether it's sports, whether it's Latin American ballroom and all of that.
So what came first for you? Was it soccer?
It was. When I started soccer, it was the mere fact of where I was. It's the environment I was in. So I slowly discovered that I was actually a good soccer player as well. So that's where it started. I started wanting to do more and more and more of it. Kept on going at school. I did pretty much every sport as well. Just to challenge myself and see how far I can push it. Where do I fit in? Because I just wanted a place that I could fit in at that time. I was like 9, 10. So from there, there was I didn't even know this was happening at the same time, but I had an artistic side as well. So at school, we had a, what was it called? It was Parents' Evening. We used to have something called Parents' Evening. It used to happen on Saturday nights, where the kids will stay over Friday night at school and sleep in the hall and create art. And I created a portrait of, I can't remember what it was about, but I created a portrait and I also did a sculpture.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you also draw.
Yeah, I draw and I also create things with my hands as well. So that's when I discovered a new thing. So that's when I was like, okay, now I'm confused. Where do I fit in? Which one should I choose? And everybody said, this is good, this is good, this is good. And inside, I said, yeah, but it's not enough. I want to fit in somewhere.
Well, on the bright side, you know, you can never run short of professions, because if one fails, then you've got a backup plan for everything.
Which is good, because I think it has served me right, actually, because of how much I wanted to try everything. Because you have to try first to see if it's going to work out.
True.
And that's what I did. So after that, it became street dancing.
I get that. This is what I was gonna come to, actually. Like, how do you move from soccer to ballroom? I mean, these are like the two polar ends. Like, how do you find the transition?
Yeah, it's like I said in the beginning, it's environments. I was always in these obscure and just uncomfortable situations and environments where sometimes I'll just be stuck and not knowing where do I go next. And I'll just sit, because I'm a thinker as well, so I'll just sit and just think, why are my friends calling me to do this? Why are those friends calling me to do that and that? And because...
Correct me if I'm wrong. In earlier on, while we were chatting, you mentioned something to the effect that your sister actually lured you into ballroom. It's not something you specifically chose to do. She enticed you into it. Just talk me through that.
Yeah. So so I'm still in school, and my sister is big on Sarafina at this time. Big on Sarafina. So
like all of us.
Yeah. So she had a big dance group where everybody was just dancing and everything, and she discovered ballroom, because my mom used to do ballroom, but she wanted to do something else. She wanted to go the Mbongeningema way, like into theatrics and go into musical theater. So that's what my sister wanted. And then the more and more I saw her do this, and more kids came and started dancing with her, and they were just using a cassette, and they'd record the music on the radio, and I was so intrigued by that, and I said, yeah, whatever that is, I'm playing soccer, playing soccer, and I've got art, I draw, whatever, do graffiti in the street. That's what I do.
And that's what I heard, that you were quite resistant at it at first, until your sister had to bribe you.
Yeah. No, I was very, very resistant, because I just thought it was too flamboyant for me. It was a side that I did not at that time was not experienced to yet. So with different personalities in people, I had not experienced a side where a guy could also dance amongst women.
And then, but how did she convince you to do
How did she convince me was years later, because now we moved from Pimville, Soweto to Annandale. When we got to Annandale, there was no soccer team that interested me to join, because in Soweto it's the best of the best teams, pretty much. So when you go to another place, you go, I don't want to start over again. So I didn't do anything for about 3 months since arriving in Annandale, and my sister was in a dance studio already. She discovered this Tropicana dance world. She found a lady by the name of Patricia Pellman and her husband, Elvis Pellman, where they were teaching Latin American and ballroom. So she found them, and later on, they became my teachers as well. So now she started this. I said, oh, so now you don't want your own little dance group. Now you want to do this. She said, well, I mean, it's still dance, isn't it? So I want to do it for sure. Mom used to do it as well, so I want to try something. Okay, she tried it. I stayed at home. I didn't do anything. I said, I'll just go to school. It's fine. I'll go to school and concentrate on my artistic side, start creating things with my hands, see what I'm interested in now. But still wanting to play soccer as well. So just before I decided, I found Kaizer Chiefs village. And that's when I said to my mother, that's where I want to go. I want to go and play for Kaizer Chiefs. Handed in everything to apply for that. And then my sister came up with the idea of, do you want to dance? I said, no. And she said, well, come be my partner tomorrow, and I'll give you 2 rands or 5 rands to come and take class.
Okay, so
And
that's
how it happened. And then I was still resistant because I said, money won't do anything. I spend it tomorrow and it's gone. And then she said, well, then I'll do your chores for you.
Oh, okay.
So washing dishes, cleaning the bathroom, cleaning the floors, dusting the house. So I said, yeah. So I don't have to do anything. So yeah, might as well go to class for how long? An hour?
I feel you right there.
An hour, 2 hours? That's nothing. That's nothing. I'll go, and I know that I will not have any responsibilities around the house. That's totally fine.
Like,
Yeah.
How bad can it be? You know, if she's doing that all for me.
Yes.
But okay, now you've started ballroom, and how did you find it? Apparently, you excelled in it. Do you enjoy it?
Yeah. Environments again. So now I'm in this environment where there is 20 guys, same color as me, doing these dances. Some were in the most advanced level, and some were in the beginning level. And I would look at the different levels and realize, so if I start here, I can dance like that and dance with a girl like that. And then the teacher said, yeah, that's what you can do. And I said, well, okay. It's quite interesting, actually. I kind of like it. And then, and then she says, well, I guess now she doesn't have to pay you for the classes. I said, oh, no, don't tell her that. She still has to pay me for the classes. But, I still want to be part of it, but don't tell her. But
don't take away the money part.
Yeah, don't take away the money part. So she brings over this girl, and I was just in love. At that time, it was like it was a colored girl from the neighborhood. So I was like, wow, oh, okay, so I have to dance with her. Okay, she already knew the steps, she already knew everything. So I was like, no, she'll teach me from now on, it's okay. You can. I told the teacher to move, to step to the side, because I was like, she will teach me.
Let her do the teaching.
Yeah, let her do the teaching, so we can have a connection here.
Sneaky.
So the boy part, it came out, and that's how I built a relationship with dance. It was first more. It was more. It was interesting to me. I was intrigued, really. I was very. I questioned a lot of things, and most of those things came out in the best way, where I started enjoying just doing it, and everything just fell.
Now, explain this to me. Although they are quite similar and related, ballroom and ballet, what was the interest? How did you find out about ballet? How did you end up there?
Yeah. Ballet was one of those things where I was not interested in the beginning. I was not interested. I saw this world of Latin American, and that world showcased more strength and versatility in the world of dance. You can do so much with it. There's no limits with Latin American. So that I enjoyed a lot, and going to competitions, traveling here, going there, that's what made it more interesting for me and more fulfilling to go with it till the end, and I wanted to be the best at it. I wanted to just go further and further. I wanted to end up in Blackpool somewhere. Yeah, that changed. How did it change? My teacher, Patricia Perlman and Elvis Perlman, were very.
These are your ballroom
Yeah,
teachers, okay.
yeah. They were very interested in the type of person I was. They were like, "You're not like any other kid. You're not like any other kid. I need to speak to your mother about you. How far could we stretch this and see how far we can take you? Because Latin American is good, but I think you can do more. You can do more with what you have. There's a limit in this country of
how far you can go.
yeah. So if you do this, you will fall in the bucket of Latin American people in South Africa, and you'll get swallowed up. It's good, but you'll get swallowed up. Like you people lose interest in Latin American very fast. If you break up with a partner, and you're not back on the floor in about 8 months, that you're kind of forgotten. So she was like, I don't want this talent to go to waste. I don't want you to be forgotten. I want everyone to know that I want people to pay respect to you in the way that you deserve. And not
sort of push you to
yeah.
the dance. And how did that happen?
Yes.
How did you bring this idea back home, and how did they take it?
So she hasn't said Latin American ballet yet. So now I'm listening to them talking to me, and then she says, I used to do ballet when I was younger. A teacher came to teach us ballet, and do you think ballet would be good for you? And I said, I don't know until I try. That's how I do things. I just go head first, because if I think about it, then I'm not gonna do it ever. So this is when I said, ballet, okay, show me more of this ballet stuff. And then she started showing me pictures of her dancing when she was younger, and I said, oh, so it's the dance where you dance on your toes and everything. And I said,
tippy-toe.
yeah, and I said, do I have to do that? And she said, no. Most guys, they train this way, but they never wear them to dance on stage or in public. It's always like in the studio where they wear them. I said, okay, fine. So who's teaching this? So I was interested, who's teaching this? And she said, well, I know a few teachers in the country that are really good at teaching it. And I said, so I've heard that School of the Arts does it. And she said, yeah, you can try School of the Arts, but like I said, you need someone that will take you in and train you.
Specifically.
Yeah, not
a class.
Not a class, or because when you go to school, you do academics and this and that and ballet. So in life, like young people, they get distracted with things, and then they figure it out only when they finish standard 10, which is like grade 12. So only then they discover, oh, now I'm going to concentrate. But for you need to concentrate now, because I see that you lose interest really fast if something is not.
It doesn't catch your attention fully.
Yes. So if you're not there 100%, then it fades away. And I said, oh, okay, fine, then let's see. So she starts showing me videos of dancers that she collected when she was younger as a ballet dancer too. But she never went professional or even been on a stage for ballet. She just did it in a studio where the teacher taught it to them in the school. And so I saw these guys like Baryshnikov, all the Russian stars, Nureyev, all these guys. And I had no idea who these people are. And I said, that's quite interesting. That guy does that? Wait, I do the same thing, but just differently. And she said, yeah, but now you can take it to the next level. I said, fine, find me a teacher that can teach me that. And she says, but you have to understand one thing. This doesn't come easy. This is not like Latin American. Latin American is very natural. This, you have to dedicate your whole life to. So if you make a decision, you have to make a decision. You have to choose. Either you want to do Latin American or this. But she said, I think that this will take you even further in your life than Latin American can, because Latin American, you're dependent on somebody else. You're dependent on a partner. You're dependent on the partner's family. Your partner sometimes will get a boyfriend or get married or get pregnant, so you're stuck. Now you have to retract again and retrace your steps and then come back again. You're going to waste time that way. This, at least you concentrate on yourself and only yourself.
And it looks like a prophecy came true. I mean, look at you now. You're dancing
did.
Washington Ballet School.
Yeah. And so I went back to my mother and I said, oh, so there's this ballet thing that she's introducing to me now. My mother said, I don't know what you guys are doing, but is your sister still paying you? I said, yeah, she's still doing it, but what can I say? You know, I want to try. I want to see. My mom said, you try and then you come and tell me, because I'm not gonna take over or tell you what to do. Because I don't want you to come back later on in life and say you ruined my dreams or you ruined my opportunities. So I'm at school and Patricia Perlman arrives in a combi. Arrives in a combi and she says, okay, we're going to town. With 4 other kids, I think. We're going to town. Let's go. Haven't even told my mother. My mother doesn't know. Haven't called my mother. Had a cell phone at that time, but so we go to town. We meet this guy called Martin Schoenberg, and we get into a studio and we start auditioning. And I'm only wearing like gray school pants. And he says, take your pants off. And I said, you know, that's when I was like, okay, I don't do this. I don't do this. No one ever told me to do this. What is this? There's no. At that time, for me, you know, it was separated in South Africa. Like, you know, in my mind as a child, I was not so. I was not around white people a lot. So when a white man said to me, "Take off your pants," I said, "No. Who are you? Who are you? Nobody knows."
This doesn't look right.
Yeah. I said, "Who are you? No." And I was like 9, 10, I think. I said, "No, don't do that. No, we don't do that. In our culture, you don't just tell someone do this." He said, I understand, and I apologize for that, but this is for ballet, so I want to see your muscles, I want to see your definition, I want to see how I can work with you. So this is, trust me, it's not, so he apologized and everything.
There's nothing sinister.
Yeah, nothing sinister about it. So I said, okay, great. So I'm now in my boxers, still uncomfortable as all hell. There's other white kids in the room, and they're all like prim and proper, dressed up, and I said, wow, these people are rich, man.
So are you the only black guy in the room, or
there was another friend of mine. His name is Johannes Radebe, but he carried on being a Latin American dancer. He's dancing all over the world now. But it wasn't his thing. He lasted about 2 months, and he was like, you know, I feel like this is something for you. Like, keep doing this. And I said, don't leave me here with all these people. Don't leave me here, you know. So I just had to strengthen up and say, okay, fine. I'll stay here and I'll do this. And so that day was just a very awkward day, because first I had to take off my clothes. Second of all, I had to embarrass myself in front of other white rich kids. For me, they were rich, you know. Probably were not, but for me, they were. So after that we go home, full scholarship.
Wow.
I have it in my hand, all rolled up in my hand. I have a full scholarship, and I have no idea what to tell my mom. My mom has been calling, asking, where is my son? It's 8 p.m. We're still in town. It's 8 p.m. Next day is exam, school exam. Where am I? Still in town auditioning for another thing. So I get home, I say, oh, I'm going to try ballet now. So you're serious, you're doing this? My mom said, I'll think about it for like a week. I said, okay, fine. And then I started getting more interested. I started watching videos of these things. I started going to the library, searching things, and started getting more interested. I started finding black dancers. They were doing ballet. I said, oh. Started finding Cubans. I started finding Brazilians. They were doing ballet. I said, wait. The color changes. Look at that. And then I got inspired by the fact that the color started changing, because what I was used to was just seeing one type. And
one racial group.
Yeah, one racial group. And after that, that's when I got really interested and said to my mother, I'm going to try this. It's a full scholarship and everything paid for. All I have to do is move away from home. That was the problem. The going to ballet was not the problem. The moving away from home was the problem.
Okay, earlier on you speak of environments. Now, you've just started ballet. How do you bring that back to it? Because I'm under the impression that by this time you are in a predominantly black environment area.
Yeah.
How do you bring that back to your friends? How do you bring that back to your peers? Like, hey guys, I'm no longer playing soccer with you. I'm playing ballet. I mean, especially with the stereotypes that are placed on Africans and a man and a black man at it.
Yeah, no, it was really hard. It was really hard in the beginning. So I kept it a secret. I kept it a secret how I first moved away
Okay.
before I said anything. Because I just didn't want to be discouraged. So I wanted to move away first. So I waited first until I changed schools. All of a sudden I changed schools school starts in January in South Africa at that time. I was gone by March, before my birthday, by March 15th.
Wow.
I was gone. So I started standard 8. Standard 8 at that time. And I started the year, everything was going well. I did the first exams. Immediately after that, I was out. Teachers were asking, everybody
Grade
was
10.
asking, yeah. Only the principal at that time understood.
What was happening?
Like, he knew what was happening because Patricia had told him. But just to keep it quiet because so that I don't get picked on. Okay, I move. I go to Bramley in Johannesburg. Bramley, Waverley, around that area. So now I'm starting ballet. I'm full on in ballet, and I get admitted into Highlands North Boys. It doesn't get any easier now. Now I'm in an all-boys school doing ballet. Now it gets even worse.
You're in a boys' school
All-boys school.
and you're doing ballet, and you're the only one doing ballet in a boys' school. That should have been that must have been very interesting.
Yeah. Now I thought I was running away from something, and I got myself into something even worse. So now it got tricky. Now it got tricky. So I'm waking up in the morning, going to school, fine. High school, standard 8, grade 10. First day, everybody's asking, what do you do? What do you do?
That was going to be my question. Like, okay, fine, you are in Bramley now. You wake up in the morning. You all go to school and everything. But there's a period where you disappear from the guys. How do you explain that? Where you going? Like when you have to attend.
I was about to say that.
Okay, sorry.
It's fine. So my friends in the location, right? They were in Annandale. They have no idea right now. I'm in another school. Totally, they have no idea. They just think maybe I'm sick, and they're asking questions. I moved out of the house. They come to my house asking, "Where's Andile?" You know, teachers were asking for him at school. Nowhere to be seen. He's in another school already. Out of nowhere. Now I get to school the first day. Everybody's like choosing their sport to do. Everyone's like, "I'm an artist. I'm gonna do art, rugby, soccer. What sport should I write you in, son?" Swimming. Everyone goes, "That's for the white boys." Now, it's a lot of black boys in the school. There were a lot of black boys in the school. So I think 70 to 80% was black.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, I never thought about it that way, but okay, swimming. You know, so just to hide it. And I said, you can write me out for soccer too. But I was never there for soccer practice. When it was time for soccer practice, I was like, I've got this to study for, this thing I'm trying, I'm trying to be something on TV or whatever. So I'm trying to lie about things. Okay. After school happens, so everybody just, they go home with the papers of which one to register for, which sport and whatever. Okay, cool. I go to class. Everybody asks me how was school because they all know. So everybody goes, "How was school today?" in the studio, and I go, quite tough, because everybody wanted to know what I do, what am I talented at. Fortunately, I was good at art, so they were like, he's talented at art, you know. So it's at least something like, but they didn't catch the art and they didn't catch the.
What form of art exactly?
Yeah, so I was doing fine arts, being in an art studio, doing all these things, and I told the teacher, I said, you know what, actually art is the best for me. And they're like, fine, you're good at it, so go and do fine arts. Started paintings, I started doing all of these things. So I stepped away from the sport, so I had a reason to step away from the sport. Even though like it was really still interesting to me, I wanted to do it. And my teacher said, you cannot do sports if you want to do ballet. I'm trying to change all your muscles. I'm trying to change your form, your mold. Trying to mold it into ballet. It's very hard because he had trained a lot of black kids. So he had reformed their bodies into ballet so that they can look a certain way. So I was like, fine, okay, great. So I cannot even play soccer and then do ballet. It's like,
I never thought of it that way, because in my mind, I would have thought training is training. Like for when you're doing sports like soccer, it kind of fits in the same mold with ballet. I never thought that it's a completely different form of exercise.
No, it's definitely, it's a whole different new world. It's you have to do things a totally different way than playing soccer. Where at that time I didn't know that actually there was cross training that you can do, that you can still do the other sports at the same level as ballet, but you just have to balance the training. And at that time it was just only ballet, and people that were doing ballet only care about ballet. And at that time I was not interested in just only one thing. I wanted to do everything that I could get my opportunity and my hands on. Anything that I can get my hands on was the best thing for me, because it kept me doing something. Okay, so ballet class happens, everything. He tells me not to do sports and everything. I say, fine, then I'll just enjoy myself in art, because I really like that. So I started drawing, I started doing paintings. And the year goes on, the year goes on, the year goes on. So I still hang out with the guys down at the tuck shop. I still hang out with the guys. They think I'm just the artist, you know. I'm just good with my hands. I say, yeah, guys, yeah.
You got Picasso in the house.
Yeah. So this is now June. We come back from June holidays. This one kid goes, your name is ANDILE NDLOVU, right? I'm like, yeah. He says, oh, so you remember the time right after the June exams? Right after the last exam, you had to leave really quickly. And we were all asking why, because we were all going to go to watch a movie or go downtown to the park and play soccer or something. And I said, yeah, I had to leave. And he said, so what were you leaving for exactly? What do I say? I was like, yeah, you know, my parents were coming to pick me up. We're going on a trip. Trip to where? Trip to TV? And I say, what are you talking about? I said, I saw you on TV, man. I saw you on TV. I don't know if the other guys did, but at that time they were still introducing Mnet DSTV. It was still coming in, so his family could afford it. So he saw it on Mnet. He saw me dance for the South African. Where was it at that time? I was guesting with the South African National Ballet Theatre for about a week or something like that. So I had to go and do that. And they had a segment of that, and I had an interview on there. And I was dancing, all tights and everything. And he said, yeah, I saw the whole thing. Man, I'm proud of you. Like, to hear, you know what I'm, like, he was like, I understand why you kept it a secret. So I still got 4 months more in the school. Says, now I understand why you kept it a secret. I know.
That must have been quite a relief for you. But what was going through your mind? Like, what scared you the most about them finding out that you're doing ballet?
Probably get picked on, get beat up. But I trusted myself, though, at that time, because I grew up in a neighborhood that I had to fight every day just to make sure that I don't let people pick on me. So I just didn't like fighting. when I had to fight, I fight. But I just didn't like it anymore. I was just like, this is too much for me. So the guy goes, dude, it's okay. Just, if you want, I can keep it a secret for you. Unless somebody else tells me that they saw you as well. But to me, I can keep it a secret. Or,
for now, it will
yeah,
be our secret.
Yeah, for now. Or you can just tell everybody. It's fine. Everybody here is a poet. Everybody here has secret art form, secret talents that they have. Everybody here does. You know, there's many guys that are gay but don't know it, or they trying to hide it. You know, so we're not gonna do that to people, or label them. But you, as another guy, you can see. But just, you know, it's not none of your business. Just leave it, because people are still finding themselves. So I was like, who are you? Like, so this guy was already like, you know, he was like, I got this, I know. So don't feel like you have to hide. Don't hide. Just show us. If you're a ballet dancer, come do a solo for us in the hall. We don't mind. And I said, okay, that's pushing it. No, I'm not doing that. So he was like, but it's a secret. I'll keep it a secret. And then slowly after that, I started being more confident in school, where I could hang around people and knowing that somebody knows, but not judging me at the same time. So now I'm going back to ANDILE every week or every second week. Remember that I left everyone not knowing where I went. So it's now been
midterm.
Yeah, midterm. Now it's December, and everybody's asking, where the hell have you been?
Dude, where have you been?
Yeah, I'm like, I'm in another school now. And they're like, yeah, we know, because we saw you on TV all of a sudden. Now you're a dancer, like you're doing ballet now. What happened to the Latin American? So they felt like I lied to them or anything. And I said, no, guys, I just didn't want you guys, I was anticipating you guys not reacting in a very good way to this. And they were like, why would you ever think about that? But this is, you know, this is not the stuff that you do, man. Like we didn't like already how you were doing Latin American in the beginning. So like we liked it when you were doing hip hop and stuff. Like you were popping and locking, and that was good. I was like, yeah, I can do all of that too. I can do that as well. So I just need something to do for myself. I need something. I need my own recognition and my own trust in myself of what I want to do for the future. Yeah, and then everybody else started knowing. And I started becoming this ballet dancer that was gay now.
Because I'm assuming by now, though, you were doing interviews and all of that, so it was very difficult to
stay away from, to hide anything. So now I'm the ballet dancer that's gay now. To people in the community, not to like anyone in the industry. Anyone in the industry, they're like, yeah, we know what ballet is.
It's known.
Yeah. So people.
How did you deal with that?
Yeah, it was hard. It was hard in the beginning because it was hard to get hold of my friends when I wanted to hang out with them. So they were still hanging out, but then still so inquisitive, asking me questions like, so what do you do? Like, do you wear the tights and the stuff? And do you wear the thing? And I was like, so you do know, but you're not educating yourself in a positive way, but you do know the negative part, the painful parts of what I do. So what I did was, I did experience a lot of backlash
from it.
Backlash, and also a lot of
But how old
criticism.
are you? How old are you at this time when you're dealing with all of
I am
this?
15, 16. 15, 16.
You're at 15, black guy, and you have to be you're doing something that you finally feel you are enjoying.
Yeah.
yet there's all these perceptions and stereotypes attached to it.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much. Yeah, so they made it hard at the beginning because it was not because they were actually trying to harm me or anything, but they did harm me by the way they would say things, the way they would. So I felt very discouraged sometimes. So I just go, why wouldn't they just understand? And they wouldn't understand. And my own friends would not pick on me, but people that would know that I do this and my friends are okay with it would pick on me.
The fact that you can do ballet and not be gay.
Yeah, yeah, that I can do that. So everyone was just like, man, you know, you're gonna be gay, man.
Like, so they were saying it's a matter of time.
Yeah, they were like, we're just waiting, like it's gonna happen.
It's in the pipeline.
Yeah, just wait, it's gonna happen. And then rumors started going around. They started getting into the industry. How I do not know how it got into the industry, but that's not who I was.
The talk on the streets are talking.
Yeah, so streets started talking and everything, and my sister had to like shush a lot of people. My mother was just like, what is happening? And sometimes she would try to educate these kids as well, and say, you know, remember that one day you may need him after doing all of these things. You know, as friends, stay together and stick together because you need each other at the end of the day. You can't all do the same thing. You can't all go in the same direction since you're kids. Like, nobody does that. That's not how life works. But learn from each other and teach each other or guide each other sometimes. But don't discourage each other.
Now, when all of this is happening in your mind, are you not conflicted? Like, you know what, maybe I need to stop this whole ballet thing, you know, just to keep my friends? Or
yeah, there was a time. Yes, there was a time.
So what kept you going?
What kept me going? I do not know what kept me going. But I can tell you this. When I finished, I didn't necessarily finish with my teacher Martin Schoenberg. After he trained me for about 4 years or three and a half years, I can't remember how long. It was really demanding training all the time. Hours were just way out of the wazoo. Just waking up in strange hours of the morning to working till 11 p.m., going to competitions, dancing here, doing that. And so when I left him, I wanted to try to be in a place, because in the school there was no male figure, a straight male figure that I can look up to. And the company, South African Ballet Theatre, had some of those. And so I admired that, and I wanted to go there and learn how to lift girls and understand the male responsibility in ballet. What do you do? How do you act? When you go outside, how do you act around people? How do you carry yourself so that you don't get discriminated on?
Wow, to say that was inspirational is an understatement. But unfortunately, that's all the time we had for this episode. But if you're here next week, same time, I promise you, we'll pick up where the story left off. Remember, Scatterlings of Africa, see you next episode.